What if I told you that all the brilliant minds in history, from Leonardo da Vinci to Nikola Tesla, possessed hidden knowledge that allowed them to transcend the limits of the ordinary? There exists a secret formula for genius, a concealed code known to few, capable of expanding your consciousness beyond conventional boundaries. What makes someone a genius? Is it merely an innate gift, or is there something more? Over the centuries, great visionaries have accessed an expanded state of consciousness where revolutionary ideas and profound insights manifested as if from another dimension. But what if this ability wasn't exclusive to a select few? Prepare for a profound journey. On this path, we'll explore how genius can be awakened, unraveling secrets that intertwine science, spirituality, and ancient mysteries. Are you ready to expand your mind? Humanity has always revered those who defy the boundaries of understanding. Plato spoke of a world of ideas, where higher concepts await those who know how to access that reality. Alchemists sought transmutation not only of metal, but of the mind itself. Shamans in ancient cultures used rituals to enter altered states of consciousness and receive powerful insights. But what did all these enlightened beings have in common? The answer may lie in what we call expansion of consciousness. This means going beyond linear thinking, surpassing societal conditioning, and accessing a level of perception where intuition, creativity, and deep understanding emerge with clarity. What separates a genius from an ordinary person? Perhaps the real question is, what prevents most people from reaching their maximum potential? Genius isn't confined to an innate gift or a high IQ. It's directly tied to the ability to access higher frequencies of the mind, where ideas shine with clarity, and innovative solutions appear as instantaneous visions. In this text, we'll explore what science and spirituality say about the minds of geniuses, the rituals and practices used by great visionaries to access higher states of consciousness, how ancient civilizations and esoteric traditions understood genius as a portal to spiritual evolution, practical methods to activate your own potential and transform your reality. If everything we know is just the surface of a much deeper ocean, what else can we discover about ourselves? Genius isn't just a matter of intelligence. Great minds like Einstein, Tesla, and Da Vinci possessed something beyond ordinary intellect, an intuitive access to information that seemed to come from nowhere. But where did these ideas come from? Modern science has been exploring this phenomenon. Neuroscience research indicates that geniuses have greater connectivity between the brain's hemispheres. The left side, responsible for logic and analysis, works in perfect harmony with the right side, where creativity and intuition flourish. Moreover, studies on altered states of consciousness reveal that highly creative brains enter a brainwave pattern known as the theta state, a level of neural activity linked to deep meditation, subconscious access, and even mystical experiences. Many geniuses reported that their most brilliant ideas emerged in these moments. Nikola Tesla, one of history's greatest inventors, described his creative process as almost supernatural. He claimed to visualize entire machines in his mind before building them, observing them in operation and even identifying flaws before they were physically tested. He stated that his mind could tap into a field of information where everything already existed, waiting to be discovered. Was Tesla accessing a form of universal intelligence? Many scientists and philosophers speak of a field of consciousness that transcends time and space. Carl Jung's concept of the collective unconscious suggests that all minds are connected to a common source of knowledge. This same principle is found in ancient spiritual traditions, which describe the universe as a vast ocean of information where the wisest can fish for valuable insights. If great minds in history accessed this state, how can we learn to do the same? Throughout history, ancient civilizations seem to have a profound understanding of how to expand consciousness and access higher states of the mind. From Egyptian priests to Tibetan monks, Greek philosophers to indigenous shamans, all had techniques and rituals to achieve this elevated level of perception. But how did these cultures understand genius? In ancient Egypt, wisdom was seen as a gift from the gods. Thoth, the god of writing, magic, and wisdom, was considered the guardian of hidden knowledge. Egyptian priests spent years in sacred temples, training their minds through meditations and practices that activated higher states of consciousness. Ancient hieroglyphs suggest that initiates were subjected to periods of complete darkness inside pyramids to stimulate the pineal gland, an organ many call the third eye. This practice, similar to those of yogis and Eastern mystics, allowed them to connect with higher dimensions of reality. Could it be that the geniuses of our era unconsciously used similar methods to achieve powerful insights? In ancient Greece, the concept of nous represented the higher mind, the source of true wisdom. Philosophers like Plato and Pythagoras believed that the physical world was merely an imperfect reflection of a higher realm where absolute truth resided. Pythagoras, for instance, saw numbers as keys to unlocking the universe's secrets. He taught that certain frequencies and sacred geometries could harmonize the mind and unlock higher perception. This principle is still studied today. Modern neuroscience has shown that specific sound frequencies and vibrations can alter brain patterns, facilitating creativity and intuition. What if these ancient civilizations knew something that science is only now beginning to understand? In shamanic traditions, genius was understood as a direct connection to the spiritual world. Shamans, the spiritual leaders of tribes, used techniques like drumming and power plants to enter altered states of consciousness and obtain information inaccessible to the ordinary mind. For these cultures, knowledge wasn't created but received from a higher source. Curiously, this same idea was echoed by modern geniuses like Steve Jobs, who claimed that the greatest innovations came from a place beyond logical thought. If great minds of our era and ancient civilizations believed that true knowledge came from an invisible field of information, are we just beginning to rediscover something that has always been present? If there's one thing that geniuses, ancient civilizations, and esoteric traditions have in common, it's the understanding that the ordinary state of the mind is not its limit. Accessing altered states of consciousness has always been considered a gateway to higher knowledge. But what exactly are these states? They can be defined as moments when the mind escapes the normal flow of thoughts and enters a deeper alignment with the subconscious and the surrounding reality. This can happen through meditation, trance, hypnosis, lucid dreaming, or even spontaneous moments of inspiration. Scientists have discovered that creative and highly intuitive brains operate in a frequency called theta waves, a brain state associated with deep relaxation, intuition, and accelerated learning. This state is common in young children who learn at an astonishing rate because their minds are naturally tuned to this frequency. As we grow, we drift away from this state and become more rational and analytical. However, spiritual masters and practitioners of deep meditation show that it is possible to return to this state intentionally. Buddhist monk Matthieu Ricard, known as the happiest man in the world, had his brain studied by neuroscientists and revealed unusual activity in brain waves associated with an expanded state of consciousness. If geniuses access this state with ease, can we learn to activate it too? Throughout history, various techniques have been used to alter perception and access a deeper level of the mind. Some of these include meditation and deep silence. Meditation is one of the most effective ways to expand consciousness. Great spiritual masters claim that in absolute silence, the mind opens to perceptions that previously went unnoticed. Creative visualization. Nikola Tesla used to enter a deep trance state where he visualized inventions working perfectly before building them. He called this mental engineering, sensory deprivation. Modern experiments and ancient practices like rituals in Egyptian pyramids show that sensory deprivation can lead to profound visions and insights. Sound and binaural frequencies. Studies show that specific sounds and frequencies can induce altered states of consciousness and activate the brain to access maximum creativity. If all these techniques point in the same direction, are we on the verge of a greater discovery about the hidden potential of the human mind? When we look at the greatest geniuses in history, we notice that their discoveries and creations seem to come from a mysterious place. Often these revolutionary ideas didn't arise from a rational process, but from moments of spontaneous inspiration. Where does this creativity come from? The answer may lie in something that philosophers, mystics, and scientists have been trying to decipher for centuries: the universal field of information. Some spiritual traditions call it the Akasha, others the cosmic mind or quantum field. But the essence is the same. There's an invisible source of knowledge that some minds can tap into. Carl Jung, one of history's most renowned psychologists, developed the concept of synchronicity to explain how certain events and ideas seem to emerge inexplicably at the exact moment they needed. Many geniuses report experiences of this kind. Mozart said his compositions appeared in his mind fully formed. Einstein claimed his greatest discoveries came from intuitive flashes, not coldly calculated plans. Do these insights come from within the human mind, or are we merely picking up information from a greater intelligence? Genius can be seen as a specific frequency of the mind. Just as a radio tunes into different stations, it seems some people can access this frequency more easily. In the Hermetic tradition, there's a principle called as above, so below, suggesting that the human mind is a mirror of the cosmos. This means that by expanding our perception, we can access information that already exists on a higher level of reality. But how do we do this consciously? Many mystics, artists, and scientists developed practices to facilitate this access. Some of the most effective include conscious inner dialogue. Great thinkers kept journals and engaged in self-conversation through writing. This helped organize ideas and spark profound insights. Change of environment. Many ideas emerge when we rear away from our usual surroundings. Einstein took long walks and said answers came when he least expected them. Flow states. The Mate, flow state, is a moment when the mind enters deep focus and creativity, losing track of time. Artists, musicians, and scientists often report this experience. If all this points to the same principle, is there a hidden pattern behind genius? And more importantly, can we learn to activate it whenever we want? If genius is a state of connection to a greater field of knowledge, what are the universal patterns that shape this process? The answer may lie in archetypes, symbols, and timeless patterns that influence the human psyche and how we access creativity and higher knowledge. Carl Jung identified archetypes as primordial forces that deeply influence our minds. But what if they were more than mere psychological structures? What if these archetypes were encoded keys to accessing different levels of consciousness? Throughout history, some figures are remembered as being ahead of their time: Leonardo da Vinci, Nikola Tesla, Socrates, among others. They didn't just absorb existing knowledge, they brought something entirely new to the world. Each seemed connected to a flow of ideas that transcended the ordinary mind. But is there a hidden pattern that can be identified? Ancient mystics and philosophers believed that to access this level of thought, an individual needed to embody the archetype of the visionary, the one who breaks free from the limitations of ordinary reality and sees beyond what most can perceive. Does this mean that by shifting your perception and inner identity, anyone can access this same state of genius? Many spiritual traditions use sacred symbols as portals to expand consciousness. The Eye of Horus, the Flower of Life, the Merkaba, Metatron's cube, these symbols appear across cultures throughout time. But why do they keep recurring? Neuroscience studies show that the human mind responds deeply to geometric patterns. The brain processes shapes and symbols differently from words, activating areas linked to intuition and abstract thought. If ancient symbols were used to access altered states of consciousness, did the geniuses of the past understand something we're only beginning to rediscover? The subconscious mind doesn't work with linear logic. Instead, it responds to images, metaphors, and emotions. Great visionaries like Salvador Dali and Edgar Allan Poe reported that their creations came from a dreamlike state, where symbols and images emerged spontaneously. By learning to interpret this symbolic language, can we open new channels for creativity and genius? If there's something that unites humanity's geniuses with ancient civilizations, it's that both seem to operate with knowledge beyond the ordinary. But where did this wisdom come from? When we analyze history, we find evidence that cultures like the Egyptians, Mayans, Vedas, and Sumerians not only possessed advanced knowledge of astronomy, mathematics, and architecture, but also understood profound secrets of the human mind and consciousness. What if part of this knowledge was hidden or lost over time? Egypt has always been one of history's greatest enigmas. Its monuments, like the Great Pyramid of Giza, aren't just physical structures. They seem to follow a mathematical and energetic pattern that may be linked to the expansion of consciousness. Scholars of Hermeticism, such as followers of Hermes Trismegistus, believed that the ancient Egyptians possessed secret methods to activate human potential, using vibration, sound, and specific mental states. Many hieroglyphs and temples depict images of pharaohs receiving a beam of light to the head, possibly a symbol of the awakening of consciousness. Were these methods advanced practices of mental reprogramming and brain activation? Research shows that many ancient temples are aligned with constellations and specific energetic points on Earth. Some theorists suggest these structures were designed to alter the minds of initiates who underwent rituals within them. The geometry of Mayan, Egyptian, and Greek temples often reflects patterns found in the human brain. Could this mean these cultures understood an internal map of consciousness that we're only now beginning to explore? If there was a system for expanding the mind in the past, can we reconstruct it in the present? In Vedic traditions, it's believed that certain frequencies and mantras can unlock higher mental capacities. Modern science has shown that sound vibrations can influence the brain, and studies on cymatics demonstrate that certain frequencies form perfect geometric patterns similar to the structures of ancient temples. If the mind responds to these stimuli, were the ancients right in saying that sound can open inner portals to higher knowledge? If there's a hidden secret in ancient civilizations, it may be waiting to be rediscovered by those who dare to expand their perception. Now that we've explored the profound mysteries connecting symbols, sounds, and the expansion of consciousness, the question remains: are you ready to awaken the hidden potential within you? Perhaps the key to spiritual and personal success isn't a secret lost in time, but something already within your reach, waiting to be activated. If you're ready to deepen your journey, I invite you to reflect. What symbols or practices can begin to awaken your consciousness? What do you think is waiting to be revealed? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like and share it with friends who are also seeking to expand their minds. And subscribe to the channel to keep exploring the mysteries that shape our reality together. See you in the next video, where we'll uncover more secrets of the universe and our own potential.